asking a question.
All right, all right. Welcome, welcome. It is Thursday evening, 7 p.m. So we are live with the founder of Liberty Aid Academy, John McCaig, and we have the race to 100,000 views. We came so close last week, and so I know you have some special announcents and things going, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but I was excited to read in the newsletter that I think it was in 24 or 48 hours we had almost 100,000 views. So I really want to thank everybody who tunes in and watches after the show and all this kind of stuff, and please share it out so that this message gets out there, because I think we're cracking through that algorithm, they call it, and spreading the word. So very excited for you and for everybody that's involved in the trust, because the more legitimate it comes, the less crazy I look to my family and all that other stuff. It's easier to talk to people about it. And so when they look at this and they see the views and everything and all the comments, I really appreciate it. It makes me feel good. I know it makes John feel good. And it proves that it's working. So take it away. Congratulations, John.
Thank you. Tim Judge in the house, realtor up in the Northeast, but he can help you anywhere in the country. You need somebody you can trust if you're in real estate, especially now. So, think about Tim. Interesting. Yeah. The newsletter went out. I just got a quick email from Tammy. She's so wonderful. She's so it's funny to use this word, almost perfect. It's crazy. She's been doing this so long. She's amazing, magnificent, everything. And then she, does something better, get this many views with something. But she accidentally sent out this email a couple days early, 2 days early. And so I think it's great. So we have to talk about it tonight. That's what she emailed me. And I'm like, oh, so, there's something else in that email. If you go read it or get on our email list, there's something else in there that is 2 days early that you could actually take advantage of. So I'm not going to say what it is, but you go get on the email list or check your email and go read it. Okay. But it's interesting. It's funny. I saw, because I got the back end too, like Tammy does and stuff. And I'm on YouTube and I saw the views. I was like, oh, and I am really curious to hear what Tammy's take on it is, because we're looking at the data, but she's doing stuff and I'm doing stuff. We're doing different things. We're seeing different things. So it's hard to pin down exactly what makes it happen sometimes. But I'll give my feedback on it so that people they want to get information. They want to be informed on what's going on. So current events. Currently, we hit this really big view, and oh my God, the amount of money that this school pays in advertising out there is never less than $12,000 a month, never. And it's up to like $20,000 a month sometimes. I'm just saying and it has been higher. That's what we're trying to do out there on views. And we're just like baselining it along, every creative step, every testimonial, all this unbelievable, earth-shattering miracle after miracle after miracle testimonials and all this stuff. It's like, so in 15 years, and then this happens, and it's been funny. I'm going to go back to a few years ago data and rely on that to make an educated guess on this one. And I think people might learn something from hearing this, not just about Liberty Aid and this stuff, but also their own business. And hopefully, you can use this information, because this is a rare thing to have happen. So, okay. So many years ago, we tried this a couple times, having an affiliate program. And, we wanted to somehow make it so, of course, we could support the people posting our work out there. Can we get them paid like that? We tried an affiliate program. It broke down both times because people are like, oh, I'm an affiliate on their first purchase. Like time after time, people would try and, no, it's meant for you after you become a student. You get somebody else to come, you can get payback. So it just each time devolved into that, and we couldn't do it. So we gave up on that. And we moved to the Trump Millionaire course, which is really super successful. People love it. And that methodology is so much better. And all the past problems I was just talking about, well, oh, that should work. It didn't. And so this is working. The Trump Millionaire course is out there. Now, I've noticed that, and maybe you noticed him too, is I created a Martin Goman group in
Mhm.
the classroom. And the reason I did that, I don't know why it took me so long. I'm just, mentally, like I focus on one thing, but then sometimes I'm like, wait, what? What am I doing? So it wasn't a jab at any way. This guy's amazing out there. I really appreciate his help. He's very trustworthy, has been helping people for many years in finances and seeing the truth and things like that. He ended up becoming a student and totally, added it to all the financial work that he does out there.
Right.
And I noticed right before this giant view thing, he did a really good video. You know what I'm saying? He gets views out there. Other people than us can
Right.
get views out there. If you want to go on somewhere and make a video or your platform or your YouTube or your Facebook on something like that and be helpful to people and say, hey, I'm doing this like Martin takes the time to do. He's a professional, but he also, unlike so many other people that just steal our copyrighted work, and end up just destroying people's wealth and finances and families and stuff. They don't know what they're doing. Martin knows what he's doing. It's like, oh, I found another good professional I can rely on. This is like, I'm talking to a realtor, Tim here, who, you're looking for professionals you can count on. You're not trying to do everything with a house to make a house sale happen. You're the realtor. You need people you can trust. And so he's a financial professional. So he's like, include this trust in your work. And that's the way he explains things. He's out there doing that, and he gets a lot of traction. I'm saying this because we had this affiliate link, and Martin was just years ago killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just like, it's all Martin out there. Like it's all right, all right. How can I do something in harmony with his work to help him more? You know what I'm saying? And thinking about that, and as some other people, not just other people too. What I did was I said, hey, I know like I've been working on my real estate tax exemption application, and since I got this real estate, I decided to do that. I knew they would shut us down, be invisible even harder, and that's exactly what happened. So I made a 30-day challenge, and got like 10 days in it. People that care about this work, could you please put it out there on social media? We need the help. Like, if you think we do good work, I think we do. We pay a lot of money. We're professional. 7 days a week, Tammy and I are at this, and we're just trying to make it so we can continue on and help people. Like we never make that much money or anything. We're just trying to continue on and do it. So when they, make us not be visible because we're doing some particularly great work that will help people, having a challenge like this overcomes that. And so I'm giving feedback on that because people are doing it, obviously, and it's helping us, that it is. And so it did help some. We could see that help it, but then all of a sudden it was like off the charts. And when Martin does it, maybe Tammy has another take and so on. I get that, but I'm just saying, going off my past experience, past data that we've tracked, and so on. That coincidence is a likelihood, is what I'm saying. So for all the people out there that have responded and put us out on social media and trying to tell your friends about this and trying to change lives, come on, what? No IRS taxes are reporting and take advantage of all the government free stuff. This information is legitimate and helpful to
Yep.
everyone at every socioeconomic position. It's a massive hack to get your money back and give them nothing. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for making that happen, making that jump happen out there, and the views and so on. It's you all doing that, helping us. It's doing it. We've been baseline along like forever here, doing our absolute best. So when I ask for your help or your challenge to help us out there, I think it's all you doing. And I'm using Martin as an example, but you all collectively are doing this, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll just say, I know you were doing this before I showed up, but I'm happy to be here on 7 o'clock, and I do see people coming in here making comments. I will point out the people that have showed up now, but people that are showing up consistently. I see a lot of the same names every week, which is great, and they all make comments, which is great. That helps on YouTube, and it shows that John and I aren't talking to ourselves. so that's always great. So it's just easier to build the community that you have, and you have hundreds and hundreds of people inside the classroom, which is a tremendous resource. And these lives every week, and please ask your question live. John's always happy to answer them, no matter how many times it's been asked. It's great for me to come back, and I just keep refreshing my education every Thursday evening, and I'm happy to be here as well. So we'll just start down the row here because there's plenty of people in the room. Paulette is here saying greetings. We have Frank's Garage here.
Pauletta. Wait, we'll go back, yep. Pauletta. Hopefully see you soon too, Pauletta. And happy safe travels. All right, you and your sister Pamela. Really, these two ladies, if you ever meet them, incredible supporters of this work. Amazing grandmothers, mothers, like women. They show up. I just have to say it because it's true. So thank you. Sorry.
Excellent.
Thank you, Chip.
No. Frank's Garage, of course. Greetings, John and Tim, and all the trustees. We've got Alex here running and praying. I like it. Giving the hearts, and he says perfection. So excited about all the views. Jay Fox in the house. Howdy. Pamela Poe, there we are. Greetings, John and Tim. And Christopher Lyons here. Hey all, liberty to you all.
Hold up right here. This guy too. This guy come in recently, and I just want to say, a recent heavy hitter, Christopher Lyons. You're a hard worker. You're helping people. You're a very professional guy out there in your own profession, and it's really, I mean, he's a plumber, etc. But wouldn't you love to have a plumber like a guy that is so incredibly detailed about his work and stuff? Is amazing. Some people show up and do this work, and it's just like incredible to see what they do and how detailed they are, how organized, and the testimonials they make. This guy's off the charts. A rare one, and it's great to have you, Christopher. Thank you so much for being here.
Excellent.
A second here. I got a question over here on Instagram. Let's see. From Motivation. Okay. Hi, thank you for this live. Yeah, I know some trust suggests that you can't be both grantor and trustee. Your trust, that's a made up thing. And let me explain it to you. That's your trust allows us to be both. Yes. And good question. Basic question. Your name is Michael. Okay, Michael. Good to have you, Michael. All right, Michael. Let me answer your question, okay? And like Tim says, I'm happy to answer question over and over. The basics are important. Everyone needs to know them all the time. So I really like to go over them. This is a Christian solution, okay, that the IRS accepts. It's in the IRS code, 508C1A. You sign up with God, with Jesus Christ, and you are under a convention. You could directly, sell your soul to the devil, and you could sign with Jesus Christ. So it's a Christian solution. You're like, okay, what does that have to do with any question? Well, it's very simple. we're under the in God we trust, right? Get your birth certificate, etc. Of course, it's subterfuge. They're lying about it, but you signed up, or your parents signed you up with we, the devil. Okay, so they're like, we got documents. They're like, oh, wait, I'm not with the devil. Well, we got paperwork. So this is countervailing paperwork. You see, I'm as an 18 or older, I can. Yeah, no, happy to help, Michael. He'd say thanks for asking your question. No, that's why we're here Thursday. Any Thursday, people throw out your questions. That's why I'm here. Blah blah blah. Answer your questions, no problem. So anyway, so you can sign up with Jesus Christ. You get this trust, and it meets the IRS code of convention, just the way the in God we trust. I'm doing the same thing. You see, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay, great. Could take advantage of that. Well, okay, you're 18 or older before you can start a trust. So, hey, I don't want to be with the devil. Okay, I'm Christian. Okay, great. So you as an adult are the one, okay, my soul's underweight. What? We, the devil, wait. Oh, I didn't know that. Ah. So now you're an adult, right? Your parents were the grantor to you, right? The beneficiary of being under the devil. It's like, that's not really a benefit, but that's the way it's been. Okay, so that's going to change. As an 18-year-old, I'm knowingly signing with Jesus Christ. You can't do it till that. You're an adult. Has to be an adult decision, a legal decision. So, okay, you're going to do that. Not your parents. Not your parents. Remember, now you're an adult. So that's the process of granting. Your grantor. I am going to grant. I put my soul in with Jesus Christ. That's the documents of trust. I trust God. Oh, okay. Boop, boop, boop. IRS accepts it. Canada accepts it. Federal government, the state government, all the banks, they all accept it. Okay, because they're using the same method, but for a different God. Okay. So, okay, now you're an adult. Hell, I granted my soul. I made the choice. I'm an adult. Fantastic. Now, still alive. Yep, still alive. Ah, dang, I was signing up to get out of here. I'm stuck here. It's still in the body. Okay, now what are you going to do? You're an adult. Who do you trust to watch over your soul? Not your parents, right? I'm 18 or older. Hey, I'm an adult. Who's going to watch over your soul? Now you are. Who else is you? You're signing up as an adult. Hey, I'm with Jesus Christ. So I'm an adult. Granting. Who's going to watch over your soul now? I'm going to do that. Okay, your trustee. Yeah. Okay, Michael, and anyone else. You see, you have to be grantor trustee. You're not beneficiary, right? You're saying, okay, with God, everything to you, God, you're the beneficiary, right? That's
Right.
it. Even though you benefit, according to Acts 5 in the Bible, right? If you do not give everything to God, you will drop dead, no eternal life, and off to hell you go. Right? You're a liar. You either give everything to God or you're a Christian under Acts 5, or you didn't sign this trust. This is a copyrighted trust, by the way. This is the only way you could do. It's the only method you can actually legally be Christian, and the government accepts it. It's the only method. And you have to be grantor and trustee. But you don't have to name a beneficiary. In fact, unless you have children under 18, you wouldn't need to name a beneficiary, and you would name them to reap this spiritual benefits. Just as you were signed up as a child, your parents did it, you would have your children reap the spiritual benefits of not signing up with we, the devil. And I want them to be with Christ. Okay, boop, boop, boop. You sign them up. You see. So they could be beneficiaries for the same reason you got worked over the whole trust thing,
Yeah.
at the hospital, our parents did or whatever, right? Or anyone does. So all that's happening is, yeah, you're signing a trust, so you do all I said, but they're creating a corporation. This trust is another type of corporation, but God benefits. You give everything back to God. It's not mine, okay? And you can't take anything from this trust. It's not you, i.e., your person, which is a sub trust of being a we trust. So that thing has nothing, no revenue, nothing in the bank, no assets. Everything goes in a trust. Boop. And now that person, that all capital letter corporation they created with the birth certificate, that becomes a vacuum cleaner, because you don't have anything, right? You, i.e., your person, okay? It doesn't have anything, so it qualifies for all the government free stuff, and your judgment proof because you don't have anything. You see, it works according to the Bible, according to be a Christian, and it works legally, gets you out of having to pay money, makes them pay you money. So that's the general overview of how this works. Maybe that's a little more detail that you wanted, Michael, but I like to stick with the basics so everybody understands it. It's a very simple solution, and it's a very simple spell that we're been under. It's so simple that it takes a simple spell to nullify it. The same spell. I just fill in a different God's name. That's how it works. Okay. What else is Mike saying? Yes, thank you. Makes perfect sense. I'm Christian for sure. Okay, so there you go. What? Fantastic. I'm glad I went through that, Michael. The details are great. Good. It's quite simple. This whole thing they got over on us was simple. I'm an accountant though. I got an MBA, got a master's of accounting, and I never helped anyone with their taxes. I was an auditor. So I was like, what are you doing? I caught them with the we trust. So I'm like, okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let me make a trust too. And it worked out. You see, I could go through that story too. But the point is, it's accepted in Canada, accepted in the US, accepted in all the states, all the banks, all the hundreds or thousands of law firms that have looked at it. Definitely thousands of lawyers. There are hundreds and hundreds of bank accounts of it. They're like, well, let's send it to the lawyers, everywhere in all the states and Canada, everywhere. All lawyers have looked at this trust, and all the bank accounts are open. All real estate owned by it, all titles, everything, no problem. Because they're doing this. They're just not doing it for good. I'm the first one that's like, I'm not evil, so that's not going to work out for me. Let's do it another way. For people that aren't evil, let's have an option for them. Like you, hopefully. Anyway, so I don't make it expensive. I use their simple methods, and I just, you get me through the process. In the classroom, you get you create a login in there, hundreds of people in there, all the postings, every question has pretty much been asked. Use a search bar, check in there. But I'm in there, and so is Tammy. We're both in there moderating. You get me directly. I help you through whatever what about this? I help you through. So I make this process easy. By the way, I'm sure you're wonderful. I really am sure. So many wonderful people come to this work, but I don't necessarily want to hear from you. You follow me? My goal is you have a seamless, super easy experience. When I opened my bank account, it was a piece of cake. And that's pretty much what happens. I love that. You can come into the classroom and type, write, go nuts. And you could be like a whole bunch of other people like never heard from because it was like, boom, this thing was so easy. I couldn't believe it. We've been doing this a long time. And that's what I love to hear from people. I like doing this show. I like working with Tim. I love this work. I love having created it. I love backing it up. I love all of it. But I'm saying, if we're doing our job right, it should be like that. Like I went to your courses, it was a piece of cake. And what I just opened the bank account and that was it. And that's pretty much how it is for people, Sorry to go on about that.
Yeah, no, if you can watch a video and fill in a blank, then you're in business.
Yeah.
Or you're in trust. And that's a beautiful thing. Some more people piling in. Joseph Neal here saying greetings. Alex says rare. I think that was to our friend Christopher. The Salon for Natural Hair. Greetings, everybody. Andy F in the house saying greetings.
Natural hair, ladies. If you want, right, you're doing your hair to maybe get noticed by some guy. Guess what? Guys love natural hair, and it's great to have you here. I'm just saying, backing you up.
Alex throwing the hearts around, and he's saying us. And Jay says it's all simple as a pimple. That's a new one for me. I haven't heard that one.
We do host this, and we do, talk you through all your questions and programming and nervousness, or what about this, or whatever your concerns are. But this works for 100% of everyone 18 or older.
Yeah.
In the U.S. and Canada. It's never not worked for you. Unlike every other school, it's like, oh, well, you got your degree. Hey, Hopefully, whatever. See ya. It's like, what?
And
No,
the
everything works here. What we do, it works. So we're happy to have you. It is, pretty simple. Who wants to have? Thanks for giving me a complicated solution. Who wants that nonsense? Not me. No one wants that. Oh, we got Michael's back. Michael's back. He's got another question. Can I put personal home in this trust? Yes. And then you could apply for real estate tax exemption. We got proof that has happened. Oh, got any more questions? I bet you weren't expecting that answer. Ah. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's got another. And other assets, of course. You drop them over there, they can't get touched. Boop. Let's talk about a bank account. Good question, Michael. You open, where are you going to bank? Well, where do you bank now? You go down there, you open a trust account. Oh, I got 2 accounts in my app now. Oh, okay. You just transfer the money. Oh, hey, the money transferred. Okay, it's in the trust. Yep. Does your debit card work? Yeah, went to the machine, got out a couple $100. Debit card works. Okay, so trust account works. Everything's good. Yep. Okay, you don't need a personal account anymore. That was that. That's the
yeah.
transfer. Now, things with the title, you change them at the DMV, and we have courses that go over this and teach you how to do it. And then real estate, we teach you how to change that into a trust. Yes, all in our courses. Good question, Michael. No problem. Yeah, yeah. Because once the assets are over there, out of reach in the trust, you, i.e., your person that they say is us, which people can't own anything, only corporations can. We run corporations. So now we're running a
Yeah.
corporation that can't be touched. Not ours. Right? It's God's, which is true. But it makes us, i.e., the person, the all capital name corporation or LLC or wherever you got your stuff now, dump it in a trust, never report, never pay the IRS, period. Structural solution. No tracking finances or nothing like that. Money goes in, money goes out. That's it. Yes, any assets can go in to the trust. And then from the trust, assets come and go as you please. You never report. Once it's done, it's done. The IRS is the rearview mirror. It's like, I don't see them anymore. Wait, what did they look like again, honey? I don't remember. They were, don't you remember them as scary or something like that? Yeah. Rear view mirror. That's like, wait a second. They're nowhere to be seen. Gone. Like a bad memory. They're just gone.
Wanted to make sure you saw this one. Holy Rockin' Thursday. I love these guys. Thank you, Christopher.
Love you right back, man. You really do some great work. It's so great when somebody shows up and just like, I like to get things done. It's like, yes, you do. I love it. I love it. No, we got another question. Michael's back. I love this. Copyrighted testing. Yeah, tested totally and proven with over 100 testimonials. Last question. Yeah, you can make it your second to last question. Keep going if you want. Last question is, sorry, does the program show you how to transfer assets? Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions, I don't understand this. I'm in the classroom, which the classroom is just an online private forum. It's not like on Facebook or nothing like that. It's with the school, only for students, and that's it. And it's indexed by topic, has a search engine. You could usually, if not always, find the answer, but just by going, oh, what about this? So you read, that's the answer. But if you're like, hey, what about this? I'm in there. I'm like, well, that's your answer. So
Yep.
Either way, yes, get the trust bundle, super crazy discount. And then you get all the information. You got all the courses. You're not lacking anything, including you get my help. So yeah, all that stuff, no problem. It's gives you the trust, shows you how to open the bank account and stuff. And then it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? Has all that stuff too, all separate individual courses. It's like, well, my next thing I got to do is I got to work on my real estate. Okay, go do that. Oh, I want to get that free EBT money. What? We have a list of things, and your situation dictates what you want to work on first. That's all.
There's
Good
your
questions.
they're scrolling at the bottom is some of the things you can get and the amounts that you had done before. So You can save in business taxes, get the SSI up to 5,800, almost 5,900 per month.
These numbers, I just use what is the average, according to Google, amount if someone has an EBT or someone has sexually if someone has a what is average. So I use that information to just put in these numbers, see, because you're going to qualify for all this stuff, i.e., not you, your person. You see it, say it, qualifies for all this stuff. So whatever stuff you want to go scoop or whatever breadcrumbs you want to get, go get them because it all adds up to a lot of money. It really is helpful. I got another question from someone else over here in Instagram. Amir Jones is here and Liberty Aid Academy exclamation. All right. What a great way to start, Amir. Do you think the Florida real estate market crash? It is crashing. That's a good question. I just bought a piece of real estate in Florida right now. This is and being local here in real estate, uh, I've recommended for years to buy U.S. minted gold coins. For many years, since we started this show, every time Tiz like, God, he won't shut up about this stuff. I'm a realtor. What's going on? And where is gold? It was like I don't know, it was like 2000 or something. Stuff has doubled since I said to do this. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Real estate, whoop, you know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen? So I'm gonna say again, if you want to stay liquid and stuff, but we need a place to live. I get that. And if you know exactly where you want to be, it can make sense to purchase if you have the funds and so on. There can be reasons to do that. So bring it back to Florida. Your question, good question. Here's the way Florida real estate going, in my opinion. There are only a few places that have good beaches. You may not know that if you're not from Florida. Like the east coast of Florida, it's the Atlantic, fierce, big waves. If it's getting, something big weather-wise, it's coming in bigger. It's got bigger waves. It's got bigger ocean. Over on the Gulf side, not as big waves, more peaceful, white sand, emerald water, like, whoa, But then, okay, wait, where are the good beaches? Oh, that's only a small section of that, actually. Where are the affordable good beaches? That's why I say affordable. It's like, yeah, they ain't that affordable anymore because there are only so many good beaches. So let me just answer your question because you're on this channel. I'm not going to pull any punches. The only place to live in Florida, honestly, the only good place is from Sarasota, say downtown Sarasota, to Minnesota Beach. That's it. I would have lived nowhere else in Florida, period. That everywhere else sucks by comparison. I've been everywhere. And so that's the US too. So but then you're trying to get to the beach. So you're like, well, I could be in Northport. Like Northport's a 45-minute hour drive or something like that, maybe, it's snowbird time of year to get to the beach. Like that's not a daily solution to being by a good beach. That's not gonna, no, whoops. Like not only you getting the hurricanes up in the port there's no beaches way at the back end of this giant port area. Gotta drive forever. So people didn't really look into the topography. They're like, Florida, what is so cheap, man? It's warm down here. What? And they come in from the north, like, I got my COVID, like, yeah, Florida, what? But now they've been here, they've all been like, okay, that's by far the most beautiful beach. Everybody knows where the beautiful spots are. And they're like, I moved from Northport. Now I'm here. I can afford an apartment here. Everybody loved Florida, or they can't afford it. They got to leave. But if they're staying, they're of course moving closer to the better beach, like I did. I didn't want to say his name. But there's I'm not gonna get inundated, but obviously
now that you bought, you can go ahead and let it go because then they're gonna drive the prices up. You start talking it up.
Yeah, jellyfish the Atlantic too. Thank you, Alex. But yeah, and so obviously everybody lands in Sarasota first. You're like, what? You're at Siesta Key. It's like a perfectly white all quartz, dust, white sand beach, and perfect waters. And it's like goes out slowly, doesn't get that deep, perfect for children. You're just like, and then you see sunset there, you're like, and they literally, a lot of people just can't move at certain points. So they're just like, this, it just, I'm like, it's like a bug zapper, it's like, that thing's full tonight. Like, I'm gonna empty that out, because it's unbelievable. And so it's the number one beach in the US, and people go there. It's like, this is a spot. But it's also too busy, say, yeah, it's great, but then you want to be in, like, have a local situation and go there with your friends and know everybody, like, go to Cheers or whatever in the bar, but the beach, you want that experience. How many places are like that? Almost none. And so it becomes backed, how easy could have Tim said this in so few words, right? What is real estate about? Location, location, location. So people, like, just cram packed Florida, that's good. That thing's $1 million. Well, this one's great. It's only 500, but it's out here, but it's so warm. Anyway, people aren't with that anymore. It's like, if you're going to Florida, you want to be at the beach, or you want to have the experience that you went there to Florida. Once you've been to the best beaches, I don't care. Like my girl, it's like, I just finally said, I'm going to Florida. She said, I'm not going to Florida. So I'm like, well, I'm going there. Well, she's not leaving now. Like, and she knows where the good beaches, and you used to hate beaches, and now, okay, well, I like the beach now. It's like, yeah, the number one beach in Earth is good, even if you don't like the beach. So, I'm just saying, you do your work in Florida on real estate, and you find out there are miraculous places like, what? And then there's some other places you're out there in the middle of nowhere that you can't even get a Walmart delivery, and you're like, there's nothing. The mosquitoes are the size of Russian tanks. So you're like, that's all we got out here. We got to drive half hour to Walmart and stuff, like, location matters. So, okay, I droned on about that, and I was going to let the realtor have a say, but let's have Tim go for a minute. That's my answer. Good. Thanks for that. You're in Jacksonville, Beer. So even more so, like Jacksonville, not the best beach up there. So that's what I'm saying. But it's okay. It's gonna stabilize, because everywhere else basically sucks compared to Florida by comparison. Nothing against all other places, just climate is what it is. It's nothing. You have wonderful cities and states. I've been to them. I visited. I've lived in them. They're wonderful. You get winters like, oh wow, ooh yeah, I'll be in Florida. See ya. So might as well just stay there, And a lot of people get to that point. So okay, Jacksonville. Okay, Tim.
You're talking so much about the beach. I'm reminded of a movie called Running Scared. Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. I don't know if you saw that one. It was middle 80s, but they're retired cops, or they have to leave Chicago, and they go down to Florida, and they stop. They see people stopping to watch the sunset, and they were like, what's going on? Is like a crowd forming, like you're saying, like people just go to the beach and hang out and watch the sunset, and the crowd's forming. And these two guys, cops from Chicago, they go, what's the matter? What happened? And they were like, we're just looking at the water. Why? Is there sharks? Is there somebody fall in? No, we're just watching the sunset. And he goes, that can't be. Nobody watches the sunset in Chicago. What's going on? It's one of the funnier scenes in the movie. But you're talking so highly of the beaches and all that kind of stuff. It just brought me back there, which is funny. But
no, it's true, because that part of Florida faces west. So it's us again for a few hours. You're in there in the 84-degree water, floating around, watching like this. You're having the Las Vegas Globe experience for free with sunset. You're like, this thing's still going on. What's going on? And because it's facing west too, and in the summer when the water's warm, we get thunderstorms, not over the water, but right over there. So we get rainbows and double rainbows with the sunset all the time. So you're just like, what? Super often.
Nice. I have to get back to work because there's some comments here I'm gonna read. Christopher Lyon says, I saw my dad at the kitchen table yesterday doing his taxes, It all came back to me the years of torture I saw my parents go through every year. Ooh, that does sound like torture.
Yeah, it
I haven't
does.
done that in a while. Chris is also adding, live temporarily in an RV. There are thousands of tracts of empty land that are subdivided to quarter-acre lots that people own but don't build anything on them. Large tracts and parcels that only have roads.
True.
So
There's when I built an Earthship out in Taos, New Mexico in the 90s. There was I had friends that lived out in I thought I was out there. They were out there where there's no water. Yeah, there was deeded roads, but it was dirt and mud when it was wet. Wasn't wet that often, but it would be mud. uh that people, it was like, Florida sale of land, like giveaway land from the 1930s or whatever, right? And so you have to pay the taxes of $1 or $2 or something a year. If you didn't do it, go for auction. So quite regularly somebody would be like, what do I want that piece of land out there? Anybody could buy a piece of land for like $200 or something like that. And I have friends that, like, drive out there to school bus and live out there and stuff. So absolutely. And Mike, who is Michael Fathauer, who's a great doer who does this work at Liberty Academy. He's from Florida and so on. I've seen a tract of land that he's had out there that it has paved roads in this subdivision that is so gigantic. It's like hard to describe. And it has paved roads, but
yeah,
they're old. They're old, like old. Like haven't been nothing's been done to them. But yeah, there's some land out there that it's amazing. Uh, so that's good. That's good. You have to be intrepid to do that. So God watch over you, Chris. You're doing great work while you're doing it. RV do what I hardly see anyone do in any situation, man. So you're really something.
Accessibility
uh,
shortcuts.
Mike is adding
Use
this one.
the tab keys.
Sorry.
When went to UPS to get my trust notarized today, and they gave me an extra page attached to the trust because the notary page on the trust didn't have exact wording needed here in California. Guess it depends on the state.
Maybe. That's never happened, but that's so funny. That's cool if they want to do that or whatever. I've never heard of that. You were the first time ever, but it brings me. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Boy, I'm gonna tell on myself again. I don't know if I've ever told on myself on this one, Mike, but it brings up something kind of funny. Thank you for sharing that. Uh, I think it's great they worked out an easy solution, but I've never once heard of this in all the years of doing this work. But that's cool. They made it easy. Sorry for the extra work. Okay. I'm gonna.
Christopher is adding, I did it for 1 year to save money, but not now.
Cool.
And also Southern Missouri.
Oh,
is where
nice,
he's-
nice. You're a good
that land.
You're a good place out there. Someone very important here at the school that works here is out in that area too. So that is wonderful. I've been out there too. It's beautiful. Went to a rainbow gathering many years ago out there in the trees in Missouri. Very beautiful. Oh, but I was going to tell on myself a joke. Good. Thank you for explaining that and clarifying, Chris. I appreciate that. Let's see if I can figure out a lead into this. I used to do a lot of work back in the day, paperwork, before it came to figuring out the truth by trial and error and getting out there and just trying everything, right? And one day I realized, you know what? Under the notary thing, right? I could write some stuff in there that would even be more of I could get them to affirm what I said in the other thing. So that's what I actually did. I changed the wording in the notary thing to say, I agree with everything in this, what's been said in this document, and I'm a witness to it. Basically, something like that. I was using a
Right.
public notary to change my document into not just whatever I was doing, but an affidavit from that individual. Like I'd go to the bank and be like, "Hey, can I get you to notarize this?" And be like, "No problem." And I've got like a bank officer, affidavit of whatever I did, whatever paperwork I'm trying to do. And so I had to be more careful. At one time, somebody read it or something like that.
Yeah.
Not that particular one, but looked at one, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But man, I used to have them on my side more than they cared to look into the details. The devil's in the details, or maybe not. The devil is no longer in the details. Maybe you're helping out my team for a change. So that was just funny that I would do that. So it's funny to me that they actually read it. Because I would just watch them never read it and be like,
Yeah.
I would always be like, how can I turn anything on paper in my favor? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do to
Right.
you? That was a good one. I don't know if I've ever said that about my. That's been 15 years since I got into that stuff, but at least funny stuff. But yeah, you could say stuff down there.
Alex is saying that a notary is senior to a judge. Read the maxims of law. They're great.
That is true because but they're handling they are doing the same thing as a judge in a way. They're making a judgment of fact. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a limited in scope until I change their scope. You know what I mean? Until I turn them into more of a judge, but they're limited in scope and what they can do. They can say, "Yes, I was here to say this." This particular document was created this day, and these are the individual or individuals that created this document. That's what they're there for, and a judge can say, "Hey, you weren't there." Like, so it is above a judge in that way. Yes, and you may. Sometimes I wonder what people want to know, but for those more senior people in the realm of reality, uh, they are performing a duty. They're a public notary. In other words, you have them sign as a public notary, and you instantly are giving full public notice to everyone. And all the people that are working in the system all know at that second, because they're not actually human. They're fallen angels and they have a hive mind. And so that's actually how a public notary does, in fact, function, so that you're aware of it. Okay. And they can't read my mind, because you can say God's name and they can't read your mind either. And so if you change this stuff in the notary thing, they might not know. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Once you find out what they can and can't do, then you're the one with power. You see what I'm saying? And they're the ones that have a job to do, and you better do it right. Because we have God and they have a job to do and get it right. You see what I'm saying? They got nothing but a job to do, get it right.
Alex is adding, Florida is special. We have civil law notaries and powerful people internationally.
For the reasons I just explained.
Yeah.
Exactly. Indeed, Alex. I'm glad you brought that up. People don't really completely understand, but it's funny how this plays out with this trust, because you get it witness, and then within 24 hours an unusual experience happens, so you're like, wait, how could you know that I signed this? Wait, it happened to me. Happens to many people. And if you're careful about your life, you'll realize somebody's going to walk along and right in front of you and make a quip about you. They know you did this. It's like, what?
Right.
It's just me being in the position I'm at. Yeah, that happened to me. But also, it continues to happen. I hear about it from people. So it never stops happening. So knowledge is power. I give you the knowledge and you have the power. I'm not trying to keep the power. I'm trying to give it to you. You see? The power of God and the power of, information. They have information we don't have. Oh, you have a sixth sense? Yeah. And you can beat it. So, and here's how it works against them. I mean, we brought up the topic. So if they can read your mind, which they can from, any distance, especially easy, closely. What happens if you pray God's name and they can't read your mind? They become blind. That's their main sense. So if you're like at the checkout line, like, and you became blind, you'd be like, help. Like, you'd be just, why do you be help? If you're never blind before, why? You'd be like, I'm blind. I need help. Because you'd be stuck. I
Right.
can't drive home or nothing, right? That's their main sense. So they become blind actually in front of you right when you do that, and they have a reaction. So knowledge is power. If you get, this is a Christian loophole. If you're actually into the Christian side of it, I do run a church. So I have a church service every Sunday at noon, jesuschristtrust.net. There has to be this lineage of a church. Oh, well, how come this Christian loophole works? What's your church? Who's your pastor? Who's your, anyway, that's over there. If you people want that, that's why this can work legally.
Right.
And they have no problem with it, you see. So just filling you in, it was a question. You have the full answer. I try to give full answers so everyone's informed.
And Jay is adding, I have people mention the word loophole to me a lot now. Out of the clear blue.
Yeah. Once you know we're in a time loop and this is the loophole from an accountant that gets you out of the whole thing, it becomes they know, nyah, 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 ha, ha, ha. They all know.
Alex is saying, working on private placement securities and the bank's medallion signature guarantee program. Big dreams.
I've done a medallion signature before. To get to my treasury account, I've actually done that and connected to a bank account, but we're not one of them. So as soon as I got it done and I used the debit card, they just disappeared, but I'm not one of them. I did it on Friday. Come Monday, they're like, he's not one of us. Turn off the switch. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, there's humans and there's non-humans, and you're not one of them. So you don't get everything for free. This is slavery, right? The fallen angels, they enslave the humans. And so either enslaver or enslaved. And it doesn't work for the enslaved. Hold
Before
on.
we finish up.
Sorry. I got one more thing from Amir here. He was asking about the real estate in Florida. An item placed in your trust, can you take them out? Yes. Buy and sell, assets come and go, no problem. Yeah. In and out, money in and out, stocks in and out, cars, boats, mobile homes, real estate, you name it, what have you. Don't report, don't pay tax. Yes, absolutely. That's what this trust is for. And you can pay anything too. Like your expenses. Oh, hey, I paid for this thing for an LLC. I paid for this thing for a person. I paid for this thing for another trust. It don't matter what you're paying, where the money coming and going, as long as it's not illegal. Okay? Don't break the laws and you're fine. You're following the law. You sign up with God. They respect it. This is a non-taxable situation. It's A-okay. So, yeah, no problem with that. We teach how to do it. Yeah, it's not like just in and then you're stuck. No. In and out. Just debit card, money in and out. Yeah, no problem. Put a deposit in your bank account. Oh, I bought a car. I sold a car. Yeah, in and out. Bought some real estate. Sold some real. Yeah, as usual. Same old. Just from the trust. Sorry. What were you saying?
Well, I was transitioning a little bit. Alex is also saying tax exempt, which is a beautiful thing. But I put up the link to the YouTube mentorship program. Scrolling across the bottom there, YouTube. I know you have a huge updated credit program inside there. Are you doing the real estate parsonage program inside that? Because you put out a new video every Monday, or you have been doing that?
I put out so many videos, I kind of caught up. I will be putting this video up at some point, and I've actually finished it all. I finished the whole package. I'm going to use my original documents, so I'm going to go over all of it in Florida. But Alan's coming here this weekend, and so I'm gonna have him look it over too. Like I have literally, the address, signature with the date. Like there's not anything that's not filled out. I've been focusing on it for 2 weeks straight with the actual doing of it. So I love it for what it is, and I'm sure Alan will find some stuff, and then I'll repair it and get it in the mail, so but yes, I
Are
will
you
be
are you
once
going to
that
put
comes
it
out, I'll be putting it out.
are you going to put it out in the YouTube membership program or inside the classroom, or what was your plan for that?
I haven't made a plan for that yet,
Okay.
but I really, I'm kinda like step-by-step guy,
Right.
um, and so once Alan and I are finished and it goes in the mail, then I actually, I'm gonna
I
have to.
get let me tell you, you're looking for the true success of it all before you start publishing it. So once they wipe your taxes off the map, then you'll make a decision on how you publish your success.
I don't know, honestly, because if they don't say it's okay, I'm gonna go at them tooth and nail like
Right.
usual. I'll see in small claims court, it's 8,000 or under. Taxes are here or under 8,000 at this point. So maybe they'll go up or whatever. I'll still go for 8 grand, and I've been asked not to go back down in there. But that's where miracles happen.
Yeah.
And you got video footage of it. So if you want me to redo it and you want God to redo it, hey, I'm happy to go down there and prove who I am in
Right.
front of you all with the guns. And you all pop up your cameras and take a video and watch some miracles happen. In fact, if you want to do that and get a court date, I'll invite people with cameras to come too. So, yeah, you want me to crack Earth?
Right.
Happy to do it again. If you want, I can do that. So I have considered what you're saying about having success, but I'm not all about 100% success.
Hmm.
I the trust works and so on, that has 100% success. But if in situations like this, if they weren't to provide success, sometimes it's, you know, interesting, and you stage a shootout like I am doing, at the OK Corral again, uh, on purpose ahead of time again, uh, and gonna win again without pulling no gun and firing a shot or nothing. I'll win again with my God again. If they want me to do it again, I'm like, yeah, hey, cool. So
TR,
that kind of
TRT is
like
saying do the
can be
brave heart.
fun. Even if I haven't got it all the way, that whole thing can be fun to watch and play out and come and watch a miracle happen. So that's where I come down on it. I will show it. I did get it right. I have answered all the questions that there needs to be a follow up, and I didn't get something right or whatever. But I like to go through it real time and let people know, hey, this can happen, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to like, oh, here we go, paperwork. Like, I'm going to go to the death. Are you? I'm totally, yeah. Every time the paper goes in, pray to God, here we go. I'm coming home. Yes, no, what? You decide. Anyway, I know we're getting near the end of the show. We got some comments.
Here's your final question. TRT today is asking how many assets would you put into each trust, and what's the best practice?
Best practice, first trust you open, first name, last name trust. You have ID, in you go. The bank don't say nothing. You're under the rate high. They're like, out you go. You got a debit card, done deal. Okay. Do you need more than that? The only time I really am like, the only time you need something to your advantage, to need to do something different to take advantage of something. That's all I'm saying. Okay. To have a church name trust too, as a second trust, as your second one you would open, I would put real estate in that name trust. So when you apply for real estate tax exemption, that's the trust. So they don't have an issue with the name or, hey, this is your personal and what, you put it under a church name. It makes it easy for them to approve the application. You see, so that's a reason to use another trust and why to have a different name in that situation. Now, past that, do you need another trust ever? Maybe not. Maybe you don't, those are the two that really handle everything. So any business well, I got 3 different businesses. Well, first name, last name, trust can be doing any amount of any businesses. You have the ID, that's it. You see, you could have, oh, but I got a website and I also got, you can run them all through the same thing. It Yeah, but then all the money is mixed. So what am I doing? Okay, if you want an accounting thing for an accounting reason, you could have two trusts. So I have this, business situation with, different people. So I need that trust with two people. And over here, I just have that with myself. There can be reasons. They're rare. They're very rare, actually. And people think, oh no, my situation is this. It's like, no, well, your situation is you have ID for first and last name. So easy to open up a trust. Every time you were to do a payment gateway, what have you, you'd have that. You see, it'd be easy. It's a piece of cake. Any business, personal, so easy. So no, it's easy. Okay, not many trusts. One, maybe two. You can have other ones, but I recommend keep it simple. Oh,
I called the last, but here you go. Christopher Lyons saying he's donated $9.99 through the YouTube app. So very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank
Awesome,
you,
Christopher.
Christopher. I really appreciate it. And one final thing, Dee, you're off a break. Notice principal is notice agent, notice principal. You're off a break, girl. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. We can't help you if you don't get your trust, right, John?
Thank you. And maybe you noticed something else in that email. Sign up for an email. You might be a little something in there that if you want to be a new student, you want to have. Hinty. Okay. See you next Thursday. And we'll be here live. Tim Judge, John, Jack, whatever his name is, McCaig. See you at 7, everyone. Thanks for the support. All right.
Good night, everybody.